welcome to the panel.
Thank you.
Now we're going to start with the burning question that I'm sure everybody has. The Dubai data center market is clearly growing. Where is the demand coming from?
Okay. So I will start with the same. So data center market demands is coming from the digital transformation in MENA region. Apart from that, there is a growing demand of data storage as well as computing. As you understand that the data protection law, which is the major hurdle to put the data outside the country, that is also pushing all data centers to be built inside the country, which is also flowing in. Apart from that, there is a demand from the small stakeholders, enterprise level people who wants to store the data or compute the data. Instead of putting data center inside, they like to go ahead with the cloud or the data center storage and all.
And Sujit, are you seeing anything else as far as data center demand? Oh, hold on. There you go.
Okay. So I think, to be very specific, the demand is mainly coming from across all the different industries. So I mean, there is obviously there are quite a lot of hyperscalers who are entering into the market. So quite a lot of demand is coming from the hyperscaler side. Quite a lot of demand is coming from the organic growth of the local enterprises and the governments. And besides that, all this journey of this digital transformation, where they're looking for modern applications, AI workflows and all, which is adding to the organic demand of the customer. So the demand is coming from across all these verticals, however majorly contributed by the hyperscalers.
I mean, Dubai is a very exciting place to invest, and people are definitely investing here. What are the reasons that Dubai is the reason that people want to come? Is it, between the regulatory arena, the geography, the talent that's available? It could be anything. What do you think makes Dubai stand out as the right region to invest right now?
Yeah, please.
Yes, I think based on our experience, I mean, being a Dubai-based organization, when we talk to our customers and potential partners and all, I think the most important aspect is the supporting government regulations when any kind of investment coming from the outside world, any kind of investment is from the people from, especially the hyperscalers or large enterprises worldwide. The kind of support which they get from the regulators and the authorities here. And the other part is the availability of the resources. I mean, what we're talking about is all these new gen, all this latest demand which are coming from are majorly looking for sustainable energies. Now, obviously, Middle East is one of that kind of a very hot zone where we can provide that kind of a sustainable energy. So, and these are all those critical sort of decision points which is really making them, or rather making this market more attractive.
So adding to Sujit sir, basically the demand or the geographically the placement of Dubai. If you see from APAC region, Europe region and the US, this is the middle, therefore which is called as the Middle East. And that is the major reason that every business they want to put their head office or their businesses they want to put here. The tax regulations are zero, almost zero. Now they are giving the empowerment for the data center business with the nuclear power. Around 5 gigawatt power was given by the UAE government to data centers, and single window clearance for all data center clearances and all the things. That will also fuel it. Thank you.
Now, it isn't always easy to build a data center. We know we are very good at building things here in Dubai, but there are challenges around getting permits, around getting approvals, about meeting our deadlines. So, from your experience, what areas aren't so smooth here and have some room for improvement?
So government is working towards that. Government is supporting all the hyperscaler who is coming inside Dubai or MENA region. They are providing the red carpet. Even though the power demand for I already talked about the 5 gigawatt, they have given clean energy to the data center team members. Apart from that, what they are doing, they are enforcing or they are emphasizing for the digital DCs to be get developed with the clean technology as well as the AI and ML or use a quantum. For that, whatever the technology or whatever the infrastructure they needed, they are supporting. Government is giving the all infrastructure available. They are putting all the digital things to be given to the hyperscaler. They are exploring that new investment should come here. As you understand that previously MENA region was known for oil and gas and petroleum, but nowadays MENA region is known for the innovation. So lots of innovations is happening, lots of innovative things is happening. L&T, Larsen and Toubro, we are also doing the data center within the 8 months time. That is what our speed, space, accuracy, as well as you can say the advanced computing, AI, liquid cooling, everything we are doing in-house with the help of government only. Yeah.
And Sujit, do you have anything to add?
No, I think I agree with Vijay. I think it's a support which is again fundamental, right? It's a support which we get from the governments, right? And the new initiatives which are being introduced by the government, the new techniques, which all is motivating, the organizations to come and construct data centers. So obviously it is helping in the entire ecosystem, right? So whether it is in terms of getting approvals, whether it is in getting, in terms of permissions and everything, I think it's quite supportive. And obviously, there's a lot of room of further improvements.
Correct.
The thing is that it's evolving, it's improving, and the room is very good.
That's good. The one big non-negotiable right now is that data centers are built and operated sustainably. Customers are absolutely demanding it, and data centers are not being built without sustainability in mind. Tell me, how easy is it to secure, say, secure and reliable, say, renewable energy, or how to even making our data centers sustainable here in the region?
Yeah. So you say anything.
I think sustainability is very important. This is the second or third session which I'm doing. So I'll make it very, and I think this is a message which I would also give in the other session. I think it's as you rightly mentioned, every organization, especially the multinational organizations, they are mandated to be sustainable, to report the carbon emissions, to have the visibility in terms of what is the kind of carbon emissions they are committing and how they can save it. Right, reporting is very critical. So this has become kind of mandate for almost every organization. Right? And even this applies same to the government entities. Now, we as a data center provider, we are in a sustainability is our species. I mean, we are running all our data centers from solar energy, and hence we have that kind of leverage, to extend that value and to our customers and to meet their sustainability goals, so and so forth. But at the same time, I know there are many data centers in the region which are probably having very limited access to those renewable energies, right? And for those kind of data center providers, what they would really have to think about, and I'm sure they're doing it for sure, is that having some sort of in-house mechanism to generate using solar to generate the energy, have some sort of storage mechanisms and all, and try to run their entire operations sustainably. So it's a combination of different types of data centers in this region right now, where some data centers are in a very, very sort of preferred stage where they have the access to those kind of energy, and some data centers are still in the process of getting it. Right? And this is where the competition becomes kind of thing. And some of these data centers are already in a very kind of advanced stage, where competitive stage, where they can serve these sustainable services to the customers. But the demand is very clear. Every customer, I don't see even a single customer right now, coming and saying that they are probably not bothered about the green energy, right? They are very much interested. And we as a service provider, we go one extra mile. Right? We have the mechanism to identify what is the real kind of emission. We inform our customers saying that this is the kind of emission you should save. Hence that is really adding a lot of value to our customers.
In addition to Sujit sir, Moro Hub, if you can see or search, you will find that they are called as a green data center. And whatever data centers are coming, they are sustainable as well as they are asking for the LEED Gold certificate. As a L&D EPC contractor, we normally, whenever we submit the bid, we by default write down that whatever our design is provided, it's a minimum LEED Gold certified, or normally we target it for platinum, but till date we achieved that green data center. Apart from that, our mission when we came down to MENA region for developing the data center, whatever equipments as well as the best practices we follow, it is up to the sustainable levels only. And we are giving that each customer, we are providing the design, first design, whatever we are providing, we are trying to give the green and sustainable design to our customers. Thank you.
Now, we would be remiss if we didn't use the word of the hour, AI. Tell me, is AI really in demand here in data centers now, or do we think it's more of a future-driven strategy?
So, in my previous talk also I talked that the MENA region normally known for the innovation, and all data center and also because if you see the high level chips which is get manufactured and the kind of AI involved in our day to day life, that every customer or every businessman they wants to put into their data centers. Likewise, I believe Moro is also doing, and other data center providers like Khazna, GDH, you can talk about any big data center players, they are putting up this. On the contrary, we are also coming up with new project here for one of the big customer. They have clearly told that they do not want AI training data center. They are looking for AI interface data center. So AI data center demand is going to be increased, and that is what the requirement of our. Thank you.
I think straight away to your question, I think demand is definitely there, right? I mean, and we do see demand increasing at a very fast rate. I mean, there were scenarios where often we to get into a scenario where probably the kind of the density required per rack is very high. And in order to facilitate that kind of an density, we end up doing some sort of retrofitting and all within our data centers and all. So demand is very high. Obviously, we initially thought probably 2 years, 3 years back when we thought that this probably could be more of a hype and we should be really waiting and watching, see what exactly really happening. But the fact is that we do see it, we realize it on the ground. We are experiencing this this kind of growth, and this is increasing now. Very optimistic about this kind of a growth, and this is really changing our forecast. In terms of the future data center building, the kind of technology we should use to build the data centers and all. It basically really forcing us to change the thought process behind designing and how we should be operating it, even the forecast in terms of power and of what is needed and all. So this is really happening on the ground.
That's good to hear. All right, I'm going to wrap up with one final question for each of you. If you could wave a magic wand and do one thing that would accelerate the growth of the Dubai data center market, what would that be?
if it's magic, then we don't require to anything. But as a EPC contractor, we look forward that whatever the LLE equipment manufacturers, they have to streamline the supply chain over here. Apart from that, the basic talent or the for installation and commissioning team members, that kind of manpower required here in MENA region, it is that thing, if we can change it from the EPC contractor point of view, that will be the great thing for us. Thank you.
I'll probably answer it in a very funny way. I mean, I think one, on a serious note, by the way, let me start with a serious note, right? On a serious note, I think improving the, some sort of local manufacturing of these MEP equipments and everything, right? I mean, currently the supply chain is heavily dependent on coming logistics coming from the Eastern European countries or probably the Eastern Asian countries and all, which is actually contributing very heavily in terms of the overall timelines of the construction of the data center and also which is also sort of affecting the cost of the opportunity as well, right? So on the serious note, I think would love to see some of the manufacturing itself happening in the region, if not in the country, at least in the region, which can definitely help us to have a much faster supply chain timelines. The second part is that, again, the one which I was mentioning previously about the forecasting, right? The kind of demand which is coming, right? It's a very kind of totally unpredictable demand which is coming, right? Which is really creating a kind of an, challenge in terms of, what is the kind of data center you should be building, right? What is the kind of capacity you should be building, right? So it's always a kind of a, very challenging situation. And based on that, there are different strategies around it, right? So I think if we can have much better visibility in terms of, again, this is a hypothetical situation, right? So if we are in a situation where we can probably get some sort of understanding around, how exactly the market is really going, I think that will really help the data center providers and obviously the ecosystem of that will be in a much better position, right? But again, as you said, there's just a magic wand. So the answer to your question of the magic wand, if there's a magic wand, yeah, this is something which I'll probably look at.
Yes, that's the same.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on stage. It is clear that we do have a bright future here in the Dubai data center market. There might be a few challenges around supply chain, around talent, but it sounds like they're not so insurmountable. And if we work together, we can achieve great things. Please join me in thanking the panel today.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, W.Media. Thank you all team members.